Hi there, and welcome back to Easy Peasy English, the podcast where learning English becomes not just a task, but a journey you actually enjoy. One filled with encouragement, real progress, and the kind of gentle motivation that helps you keep going, even when things feel slow or frustrating. I'm really glad you're here today. Whether you're walking, relaxing, commuting, or just sitting with your thoughts, thank you for choosing to spend this time growing with me. Today, I want to talk about something that might be holding you back without you even realizing it. It's this idea that to improve your English, you have to do everything at once. Study vocabulary. Practice listening. Work on grammar. Fix pronunciation. Memorize phrases. Improve fluency. Watch videos. Read books. Speak with confidence. Do more. Do better. Do it all. Sound familiar? If it does, take a deep breath. Because here's the truth, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do one thing at a time. So many learners feel overwhelmed not because they're lazy or unmotivated, but because they're trying to carry too much at once. They open 5 apps, start 3 courses, follow 10 study tips, and then feel exhausted before they even begin. That's not motivation. That's mental pressure. And pressure makes learning harder, not easier. Imagine trying to listen to 3 songs at the same time. What do you hear? Noise. Not music. Not rhythm. Just confusion. Learning is the same. If you try to focus on too many skills at once, you don't go deeper, you stay stuck at the surface. And then you wonder why nothing is improving. But when you choose one small, focused goal, something specific and meaningful, you make real progress. Because focus brings clarity. And clarity builds confidence. Let's say you decide, this week, I'm just going to work on listening. You don't worry about grammar or writing. You just spend a little time each day listening to English, podcasts, shows, YouTube videos. You let yourself relax into the rhythm of the language. You get used to how words sound, not just how they look on paper. And slowly, your ears become more sensitive. Your brain starts to pick up on patterns. You understand more. That's real growth. Or maybe your goal is, I want to get better at speaking. You don't need to fix your accent, learn 50 phrases, and memorize all the tenses in one day. Maybe you just practice saying one sentence out loud every day, even if it's just to yourself. Even if it's just 5 minutes. That small step, repeated, builds confidence over time. And confidence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But it only grows when you give it your attention, not your distraction. Think about this, the most successful people in the world, in business, in art, in sports, aren't good at everything. They're just really focused. They know how to direct their energy. They don't try to do 100 things a day. They do a few things well, consistently. That's how you improve. Not by working harder. But by working smarter. By choosing one thing, and giving it your full presence. And that's what I want to invite you to do today, choose your one thing. What matters to you right now? What skill would make you feel more confident, more connected, more excited to use English? Maybe it's pronunciation. Maybe it's listening. Maybe it's writing one clear paragraph without Google Translate. Maybe it's asking one question in English during your next class or meeting. Whatever it is, start there. Let it be small. Let it be focused. Let it be enough. Because when you focus on one thing, you stop feeling overwhelmed, and start feeling empowered. And here's something really important to remember, you're allowed to change your focus later. You don't have to stick with one thing forever. Just give it enough time to grow. Like planting a seed. You don't dig it up after one day and say, why isn't this a tree yet? You water it. You wait. You trust the process. Learning works the same way. Focus is the water. Time is the sunlight. And you are the one who keeps showing up. So ask yourself, what's my one thing this week? Then write it down. Speak it out loud. Keep it simple. That small act of choosing, of focusing, is where momentum begins. And don't be surprised if you start to feel more calm. More steady. More excited to learn. Because your brain loves focus. It feels safer. Clearer. More in control. And when you stop trying to juggle everything, you finally have space to enjoy something. To notice your own improvement. To actually feel proud, because you finished something instead of constantly starting and stopping. So here's your gentle reminder, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do the next right thing. And right now, that means choosing one. Let's look at it another way. Imagine you're trying to build a house, but every day, you start a new wall. You lay a few bricks here, then jump to another corner, then another. After a week, nothing is finished. Just scattered pieces. Unstable. Unclear. Now imagine this instead, you spend a few days building just one wall. You focus on it. You pour your energy into it. You step back, look at your progress, and feel proud. Then, and only then, you move to the next part. That's how real progress is made. In English, this could mean spending 2 weeks just building your listening wall. Or maybe a few days just working on pronunciation of th sounds. Or maybe you're building your confidence wall, by saying one sentence to a stranger in English, even if your voice shakes a little. You don't need to do it all. You just need to finish one small piece at a time. I've met learners who have studied English for years, but still feel stuck. Why? Not because they're not smart. Not because they didn't try. But because they were jumping around, from app to app, topic to topic, without going deep on any of them. That's not laziness. That's just noise disguised as effort. But when those same learners finally chose one thing to work on, everything started to click. One person I know spent a full month just working on small talk, things like, "How's your day?" or, "What do you do?" At first, it felt too simple. But after practicing those little phrases, she started speaking faster. More naturally. People responded better. She felt confident. And that confidence, it spilled over into everything else. That's what happens when you focus. You stop feeling scattered. You start feeling strong. And maybe more importantly, you start trusting yourself again. Because when you focus on one thing, you get to finish it. You experience completion. Success. You feel what it's like to get better at something instead of always feeling behind. That feeling matters. Because it's hard to stay motivated when everything feels half done. But when you look back and say, "Wow, I really improved my listening this month," or "I finally understand past tense," your brain lights up. You feel the reward. And that fuels the next step. Here's another truth, you don't need to fix everything at once. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Even native speakers aren't perfect. Some have poor grammar. Some say, and like a lot. Some have heavy accents, even in their own language. What makes them fluent isn't perfection. It's that they keep speaking. They know how to use what they have. And you can too. You just need to choose where to start. That's it. Start with listening. Or speaking. Or asking questions. Or writing short paragraphs. Whatever feels meaningful to you. And focus on that, not everything else. Give yourself permission to go deep, not wide. Because that's where the real change happens, in the deep work. In the days when you're not jumping from tip to tip, but staying with one practice long enough to grow something from it. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed by English lately, if you've been wondering why you're trying so hard but nothing's changing, maybe it's not your effort. Maybe it's your focus. And the good news? You can change that right now. Ask yourself, what is one skill I want to improve this week? Just one. Make it specific. Make it realistic. Make it feel exciting. Then let everything else rest for a while. You don't have to quit studying grammar forever, just pause it this week. You don't have to stop reading books, just shift your attention to your listening goal. You're not giving up anything. You're just organizing your energy. And energy that's organized becomes powerful. Because here's the truth, your effort matters. But effort without focus? It's like running on a treadmill, you're moving, but not going anywhere. Focus gives your effort direction. And direction gives you results. You are already working hard. Now it's time to work smart. Because when you stop doing too much, you finally have time to enjoy the process. To feel proud of small wins. To notice your growth. To hear yourself getting better, slowly, steadily, naturally. And isn't that what we all want? Not just to learn English, but to enjoy it. You deserve that. You've earned that. Let me ask you something, have you ever felt like no matter how much time you spend learning English, you're still not good enough? Like you're always behind someone else, always missing something, always trying to catch up. That feeling often comes not from lack of ability, but from scattered energy. From trying to juggle 10 priorities at once. From looking at someone else's progress and thinking you have to match it all right now. But here's a gentle truth, you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be here. Right here. With one goal. One focus. One honest effort. That's where momentum begins. You see, in this world of constant notifications and endless advice, especially online, it's so easy to feel like you're not doing enough. You hear one YouTuber say, do shadowing. Another says, just read more books. A friend says, watch English TV shows. Another says, learn 1,000 words first. It's overwhelming. Not because the advice is bad, but because it's too much at once. The secret is not in doing more. The secret is in doing less, but doing it better. Let's say for example, your focus this week is, speak one full sentence in English every day. That might sound small. But it's not. Because to speak that one sentence, you'll probably think about vocabulary. You'll notice grammar. You'll practice pronunciation. And when you say it out loud, even if it's to yourself, your brain will start connecting everything you've learned so far. That's what real learning looks like. It's not memorizing 100 things. It's using one thing, deeply. And that one sentence. If you say it every day for a week, that's 7 real moments of practice. That's 7 chances to grow. That's confidence in motion. Compare that to watching 20 English videos without saying a single word. Which one builds more confidence? More fluency? You already know the answer. And the beautiful part is, once you succeed at that one thing, your motivation grows. You start to trust yourself more. You stop feeling like you're behind. Because suddenly, you're not chasing everything, you're actually achieving something. That feeling, even if it's tiny, is powerful. It's like setting a small fire. Once it starts to burn, you can use it to light something bigger. And that's the shift I want for you. From overwhelmed to focused. From, I need to do everything, to, I did something today that mattered. Here's a story I'll never forget. There was a learner who felt like her English was stuck. She had studied for years. Watched tons of videos. Read books. Took classes. But still, she didn't feel confident speaking. I asked her, what's one thing you wish you could do better? She said, honestly, I just want to order food without feeling nervous. So we focused on that. Just that. For 1 week. She practiced saying things like, hi, can I get a coffee, please? I'd like a sandwich with no onions. To go, please. Simple, right? But she practiced just those phrases, again and again. She listened to native speakers say them. She recorded herself. She said them while walking around the house. Then, she tried it in real life. She walked into a coffee shop. Ordered her drink. The barista understood. Smiled. And handed her the coffee. She told me afterward, it was just one sentence. But I felt like I climbed a mountain. That's the magic of focusing on one thing. It creates real-world moments. It builds actual confidence. Not just in your head, but in your life. So I'll ask you again. What's your one thing this week? Not 5 things. Not a complicated goal. Just one thing that feels useful. Simple. Possible. And here's the deal, once you pick it, protect it. Don't let other distractions pull you away. Don't worry if someone else is doing something different. Don't think it's too easy. It's not easy, it's effective. And effective learning is how you build long-term success. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to show off. You just need to take one honest, consistent step forward. Because 1,000 little steps, repeated, will take you farther than one big leap followed by burnout. And when you look back later, weeks or months from now, you'll realize. I actually got somewhere. Not because you did everything. But because you chose one thing, and saw it through. And that feeling, that quiet confidence, is worth everything. Think about this, when you water too many plants at once, none of them grow well. But when you care for one, really care for it, you see results. It grows, little by little. You notice the first leaf. Then the next. And suddenly, it starts to bloom. That's what happens when you focus on just one thing. I want to remind you that the goal isn't to become perfect in every area of English. The goal is to keep showing up and building momentum. Because once you start seeing results in one area, something powerful happens, your energy increases. You start to believe again. You feel motivated to keep going. And here's something most people don't tell you, motivation follows progress, not the other way around. If you're waiting to feel motivated before you start, you might wait forever. But if you just start, even when you feel unsure, and stick with one thing long enough to see a small win, that win will give you motivation to keep going. Let's say you focus this week on understanding English TV shows, not perfectly, but just better. You choose one show. You rewatch the same scene 3 times. You pause, you listen again, you write down 1 or 2 new words. That's it. And maybe, one day, you watch that same scene without subtitles, and suddenly you understand a joke. You laugh, not because it was explained, but because you got it. That moment may seem small. But inside you, something big happens. You say to yourself, wow. I'm doing this. It's working. And then, you want to keep going. That's why I say, focus is a gift to your future self. Every time you choose to slow down and do just one thing well, you're building trust with yourself. You're proving that your effort matters. You're giving your brain time to process, to absorb, to grow. That's how real fluency is built, not in fast, dramatic changes, but in quiet, focused practice. Think about athletes. They don't train for every skill at once. A swimmer might spend weeks just improving their breathing. A basketball player might shoot the same shot for hours a day. A runner might adjust their footwork by just 1 inch. Why? Because they know mastery comes from deep work, not scattered action. Language learning is the same. If you want to speak more confidently, maybe your one thing this week is practicing 5 useful phrases until they feel natural. If you want to improve writing, maybe it's writing a short paragraph every day, even if it's about something simple, like what you ate or how you feel. There's no perfect, right thing to focus on. There's just the thing that feels right for you, right now. And sometimes the best, one thing, to focus on is not even technical. Sometimes it's emotional. Maybe your focus this week is, I will be kind to myself when I make a mistake. That's it. Every time you mess up a word, or forget a sentence, you pause. You smile. You say, that's okay. I'm still learning. You might be surprised how much that changes your relationship with English, and with yourself. Because too many learners are not failing at English. They're failing at self-kindness. They try to learn everything. They burn out. And then they blame themselves. But the truth is, it's not that they didn't work hard. It's that they never gave themselves the space to go deep. Depth creates confidence. Confidence creates consistency. And consistency creates results. So the next time you feel like quitting, ask yourself, am I doing too much at once? And if the answer is yes, pause. Breathe. Pick one thing. Let that be enough. You're not lazy for doing less. You're wise for choosing what matters most. Because focus is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about putting your energy where it actually counts. And when you learn to do that, not just in English, but in life, you stop surviving, and you start growing. You begin to feel calm instead of chaotic. Clarity instead of confusion. Progress instead of pressure. And that, my friend, is a powerful shift. You're not falling behind. You're just learning to walk with purpose. So whether your focus is learning 5 useful travel phrases, improving your pronunciation of R sounds, or simply showing up and practicing English for 10 minutes a day, let that be enough. Let that be powerful. Let that be your win. Because once you prove to yourself that you can finish something, anything, you'll carry that belief with you forever. One focused goal at a time. One small victory at a time. That's how your journey grows. And that's it for today's episode of Easy Peasy English. I hope this message reminded you of something simple but powerful. You don't have to do everything to make progress. You just have to do one thing, with intention, with consistency, and with heart. Maybe today that one thing is listening to this podcast. Maybe tomorrow, it's saying one sentence out loud. Whatever it is, focus on it. Give it your attention. Let it be enough. Because that's how real change begins, not with pressure, but with purpose. Remember, learning English doesn't happen in chaos. It grows in clarity. In commitment. In those quiet moments where you choose to show up for yourself, again and again, even when no one is watching. So, as you go into the rest of your day, I want you to ask yourself one simple question. What's my one thing this week? And then, honor that. Protect it. Practice it. Let it guide you. You don't need 100 strategies. You need one step, repeated with care. I'm so proud of you for showing up today, for staying present, and for choosing to grow. If this episode helped you refocus, feel free to share it with a friend who might need the same reminder. And if you're enjoying the journey with me, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep it simple. Keep it steady. And remember, your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. And the world deserves to hear it. You're doing amazing. See you soon, and keep going.